this is shit, to now where I'm at being able to have this conversation with you and just even share this shit with everyone listening, I wouldn't change a fucking thing. And it's very, I'm not saying it's easy to get there, because like everyone define their way to get there is like very unique to them and their timing and their ability to learn, or to say, wait, this happened, what can I learn from it? Because a lot of things will happen and you're like, you don't care, it's so bad that like you can't even really begin to process it to learn something from it, because you more like push it away. But when you start to go and look into those things, then you find more and more clarity and more clarity in your life, so you start to get a better picture about what's really making you happy and what you really want to do with your life. But if you don't address those things, like I was kind of saying earlier, then it's very hard to figure out what's going to really make me feel fulfilled. And I think that's the most important thing in life, is to try and figure that out. Even if you never figure it out, you need to try to figure it out.
Yeah, like, and kind of what I was just saying before, how I was into magic, good at it. People ask me, you want to do this for a living, or you want to do this, is this your passion, the thing you want to do, career, whatever? Oh, not really. Same thing with hockey. Oh, not really. But with lifting, it was like, yup, this is it. But the reason I even got to this is it like moment was because I tried certain things. So if you don't have that, something, direction, passion about something, like, what you need to do is to try to do certain things. You're naturally going to be drawn towards big genres, categories, things, activities, etc., right? And then you just dabble with them, right? Don't have an out, just do it, right? And then from there, it'll take you where you need to go. But just what you need to do is you just need to do those things. And for some people, you get lucky. Some people, the first thing that they do when they're 15 years old, they fall in love with it, great, everything's wonderful, right? Yeah. For some people, they can be 40 years old, they can figure it out then. But the point is, regardless of where you are in that position, all you can do is just try things. And be able to discern the difference with, like, whether you're doing it for, egotistical reasons, or, this is an intrinsic fulfillment type of thing. Right? If you lean more towards the intrinsic fulfillment, more often than not, you put some repetitions of different things to do in there, you'll arrive like at a happy place. So.
For sure. No matter how much you actually have. Yeah. But it's ironic to think that the thing that, like, most people chase, which is the money, like a lot of people chase, because like I said, I would get messages, people be like, I see you must be doing really well, like I want to do that, just literally based off of the money thing. You find those are the people who chase it away. The people who are chasing money, like I need to have it, versus like, well, why, like me, the way I make money, am I feeling happy about it? Like, and I can say for sure, the way that I've been able to do it, I'm super fucking, like, I honestly, there's a part of me that is a little, not ashamed, but a little bit like, I feel very, very lucky that I was able to figure it out, and I can honestly say without a doubt in my mind, I don't know how I was able to figure it out. I don't know how I was able to, like, get to this point in my life, besides obviously all my experiences, but I don't know what taught me along the way. Like, I remember being a fucking kid, man, like, being like 12 years old, walking to school every morning, and like, fucking stopping, like, halfway to school and like going into like with a cut, everyone would like smoke weed and shit. I don't know if they call it the cut where you're from, but West Coast slang, like Northern California, like San Francisco slang, like if you went into like where there was like the bushes where kids would go into the cut and smoke weed, like before school, after school, I would go there like by myself and like cry, like dead ass, like just feeling sorry for myself. And then like throughout the whole day, I remember thinking like, I remember always being in my head like, man, like what's the point of all this? What's the point of life? Like what is death? Because I would always be like, I have anxiety around dying. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I was always so concerned with like, what's the point of my life? Like, what's gonna make me happy? Why did my dad kill himself? Like, all these questions are like, you just couldn't fucking answer. I couldn't answer as a kid, but I remember always, man, I'd be doing some shit like school, PE class, whatever, history class, doesn't matter, talking to a friend, and I would always have this like monologue with the person, like not a monologue, this dialogue with a person like this. And like my brain would be somewhere else over here, also thinking like this other ass perspective about like almost like an outside, like what's the purpose of this? Like who am I? Like my whole fucking childhood, and it's crazy because like I don't know what the fuck did that. Like something happened to me. Yes, I experienced something that was not great, like by most people's standards, but for some reason I was able to figure things out differently. Like versus my brother, I know, who took it a different way, and like you could fucking call me later, whatever you see this podcast, but I think he took it a lot more negatively and wasn't able to like try to make and obviously I took it negatively as well, but like I don't know, maybe I was trying to make more sense out of it sooner, and because I had all those repetitions like from 6 years old trying to understand like what the fuck is going on and who am I and what is death and what does it mean to me and what is alive, what's the purpose of this, why am I here, like who am I trying to be, like I've tried to figure that out for so long that maybe now that's why I'm able to sit here and be like, at 31 years old, it kind of starts to make more sense for me, even though at the same time, I'm still figuring out so much more about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just want to share that because, like, if you're listening, I'm just fucking grateful, man. I'm grateful to be able to sit across from you and talk to you about where you've been in your life, and I'm really grateful that you seem to be another light that is very rare in this industry that is able to speak and share his like legit consciousness to people without being like afraid. And that's what's needed. We need more of that. 100% we need more of that. Like I wanted that, I needed that, I wanted to see that, and I'm grateful that I've been able to be that. And I'm really happy that I've been able to sit across this right now and talk to you and the short time we ever actually spent because I knew about you for years and I maybe came across or we did something, you came to zoo or some shit at some point or we had some conversation but never anything like really meaningful and I'm grateful that I've been able to share this and I'm grateful that you're going to be another person at 22 years old I think that is going to be able to have a really great impact on a lot of young men that fucking need it and a lot of men in general that need it because people don't talk about this kind of shit like men are not talking about this kind of shit people who are looked as like these like strong figures are not speaking about this kind of stuff. They're just like I'm a strong figure, you know. Like for example, no hate, no shade on The Rock, but like I've never seen The Rock really talk like deeply about certain things. I see him like, yo, I'm the guy. He's the dude. He's the man. I love The Rock. But like I wish someone like that even would have conversation about like where they've been, what they've been through, like without just being like, yeah, I went through this and I'm here now and it's great. Because everyone can see that and it's great. Like we all see how great it is. Like man, that motherfucker, like he's fucking jacked, he's fucking lean, he's the best fucking movie star in the world, doing all these crazy movies and shit. Best is obviously an opinion, right? Don't fucking quote me on that, but like he was a highest paid actor. He got all these accolades, right? But I don't feel like enough of those people are like, and it's not up to them. Like I can't tell them how to run their business or brand or do whatever the fuck. It's not up to me, right? It's up to them. Excuse me. But I do believe that more people should be talking about stuff like this, and I think we're blessed to be in an industry that like it is very egotistical driven about how you look. Are you tall? Are you short? You got big muscles? You got a small waist? Are you strong? Can you do these things? Are you athletic? And it's all outside. It's all superficial, right? So I think the people who will be more successful in the years to come are always going to be the people who are able to look inside and say, yeah, I can have all these things. How did I get there? What moved me? What challenged me? What made me better? Like what obstacles that I have to go through. Like who am I as a person? Like and you being able to be one of those people, I think is just fucking incredible. We need more like that. So someone listening who's 16, 17 years old because you love David Lay, you like love his shit, or you're 22 or you're 30, whatever the fuck, or you like my shit. I challenge you and I encourage you to try to look more inside of yourself of the things that really bother you, the things that really make you happy, the things that really make you, and try to understand those things, not just from a perspective of like, if it's bad, I want to avoid it, but why is it bad? Why does it make you feel that way? I challenge you guys to think more deeply, because that's the only thing that I did. I can look back on my life, like I said, that's why I told you guys the story. I was constantly thinking about, who am I? Why does this make me feel this way? And it was, I remember like thinking, do other kids think like this? Are people like, am I fucking weird? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I have these thoughts? Why are there so many? Why does it feel like there's so many levels to it? And sometimes very out of control. And yeah, man, it's just cool to have someone 22 years old like paving a similar path in his own way. And I just think that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, I mean that means a lot. I appreciate that, and like you said, it's about time. Like we basically known about each other for a while, but I always knew that
like 7 years or some shit, dude.
Yeah, I knew that we would click very well. So
it's sick. I love it, man.
Yeah.
So at 22 years old, like, what would you say to people listening who are like 17 years old, 16, they're just getting into like fitness because maybe they know your story a little bit, or they just found their life into fitness? And what would you say to those people that they should not necessarily focus on, but like be open to?
People getting into fitness, if you're mid-teens, 16, 17, etc. I'm trying to think, because when I was that age, I'm trying to think of the things that I looked up just on social media. Like Instagram wasn't really a thing; it was just mainly YouTube. But nowadays, you're hit with all these crazy, big, shredded, veiny, strong physiques everywhere and stuff. So you might be, tempted to, just take shortcuts or not, do things properly. I would, just generically speaking, things that I would recommend for someone that age is learn the compound movements, and that's another thing. Like for example, that I was like saying this when we were filming the video with you, that a lot of people look up to you as, you know, an icon of fitness, a mentor, someone that's smart about that because you look the part. But there's plenty of people that look the part that have absolutely no clue what they're doing. They have good genetics, they work really hard, you know, they eat, you know, vaguely and cleanly, and they just look great. But you, like you Olympic weightlifting background, you know, powerlifting, you know like what you're doing. So going back to advice, you know, to give to someone, you know, just starting out from like, you know, a physical standpoint, you know, learn the movements, learn them with proper form, everyone's heard this many times, like keep your ego like at the door, like in check, make sure your form's on point, get on like a program, right? Like where you could like track your progress because the way that you're gonna progress is essentially progressive over, whether that be more weight, more reps, more volume, like you wanna because a lot of people they can go in the gym and they can just like train super hard, get a crazy pump and feel like they're working super hard, like like I feel great. But the thing is if you train super intensely like that all the time, you might burn yourself out. You might not be able to have recurring back-to-back workouts with that level of intensity, and you're kind of shooting darts.
Yeah, you might be wondering why you're doing this.
Yeah,
like it's wavy.
Yeah, there's no linear progression. You're not tracking your progress in a sense. So compound lifts, do it with proper form, get stronger, and give it time, and just be patient. But another thing that I would say is that when I started lifting, I was ectomorph, super skinny, fast metabolism, poor appetite, right? So I would just shove just dirty, dingy, gringy, disgusting foods in my system, and
that was me too.
Yeah,
not good, not a smart one.
I mean,
you
can get away with it when you're younger, like you'll be fine, you'll still be healthy, you'll be good. But recently, I've really changed my diet to just being much like healthier, and I've noticed like a ridiculous change, particularly mentally. Like I would look back to like voiceovers when I was like 17 years old training, and I can't even form a sentence it's just like terrible. So I mean, if you could do it, if you could start like because the reason you get into fitness is to be a healthier, better, stronger version of yourself, right? If you eat a bunch of shitty, horrible, wretched foods just to get